war brewing in this territory. Brigham Young trying to make his kingdom. President tries to stomp it out.
It is so great to chat with you both for American Primeval. I watched it over the weekend, and it was just such a gripping and intense ride from start to finish. I really loved it. Pete, I'd love to start with you first. So obviously a lot of this comes from the mind of Mark L. Smith as the creator and writer, but I'd love to hear about working with him to sort of bring this different vision of the old American West to screens.
So the origins of the script, I had the desire to do something set in this period of time, starting with a movie I saw called Jeremiah Johnson with Robert Redford. I was a little kid, which really kind of lit my fuse, and was probably one of the original pieces of film I saw that got me into this business. And I knew quite a bit about Mark L. Smith and knew that he shared that sensibility. So he came out to LA and he came to my office, and he was waiting in the little seating room that we have. And I have a weird collection of stuff in my office. I have an axe collection. I don't know why, but people send me axes amongst other things. And I took this big, very rugged steel ice axe, and I brought it into the room where he was waiting. We never met before. And I just put the axe on his lap. And I said, can we do this as a show? And he just held the axe and he looked up at me and he smiled. He said, I think we can. And that was the origin, was an ice axe. And that led us to 1857 into the Mormon Meadows Massacre. And it put Julie in my life, thankfully. And I learned a lot about what life was like for Native American tribes, which was very rough, for American military, which was rough, for the pioneers, it was rough, for the Mormons was very rough. And we sort of then just let it all kind of lay out after that.
Such a unique path to creation, but it led to something beautiful. And
it all started with an ice axe.
And Julie, I'd love to turn to you next, because I do love the way that the show, finds a balance in depicting Native Americans, from not just being villains, but also still being more complex than just than outright heroes. I'd love to hear about working with Pete and working with Mark to really ensure that there is that balance being shown throughout this show.
Well, I think the interesting thing I just heard Pete say that it was started with an axe. What he doesn't know is my family name is Strike Axe. It's spelled exactly like you see it, Strike Axe. So, I really have, like a true commitment when I start reading a script of, making sure that the proper nations are involved and that, the top of their citizens are coming to help and putting teams together for the director to be able to tell his vision and build his story. And so it's very rare in Hollywood until just recently that we've really been engaged in being able to tell our own stories and be a part of that. And so I went into the Southern Paiute, Shoshone, and the Ute tribe and really brought out linguists, historians, that could come on set and really look over plans for the set and the props. I got with hair and attaching at that time period how you would attach a headdress to red feather to a man's head, because we didn't have things to tie it with at the time like we do now. And so, and then the research level of it too, which really, I engaged the Native American Museum at Smithsonian, and had their researchers send me a portfolio of hundreds of photographs of their actual collection, and then I was able to work with the costume designer Virginia Johnson, and was really able to go to those heads, giving them the most accurate information, but most importantly, being able to give Pete the most accurate and actionable information for him to continue to tell the story.
Well, all of those efforts really paid off. I mean, this is a show where the detail is just felt in every single scene, and I really can't wait for people to see it. I see I got to wrap up already, so I will get on out of here. But thank you both truly so much for taking the time to chat. I really do appreciate it, and
thank you.
Hope to chat again.
Doesn't seem to be a world that favors a woman on her own.
Civilization and civilized, two different words entirely.